Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Washington Commanders this summer, you know it's been a roller coaster, especially for the running back position. And today, we're diving deep into some surprising roster moves that could have a huge impact on how the team shapes up for the upcoming season. This is a story that's got fans buzzing because it's not just about who's going to be on the field, but also about the strategic moves that could redefine the team's trajectory. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack here, especially with the recent developments involving Brian Robinson Jr., a player who, just months ago, looked like he was set to be the undisputed lead back. Robinson's story this summer has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Coming off a promising rookie season, where he rushed for nearly 800 yards and scored 2 touchdowns, with a solid average of 4.1 yards per carry, he seemed poised to take on a bigger role in this new offense under the guidance of offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. But then, the summer took a strange turn. Robinson didn't even dress for the preseason finale against the Bengals, and whispers started circulating that his spot on the roster might not be as secure as everyone initially thought. And it's not just rumors. There's real talk about the possibility of Robinson being cut from the team, especially if the Commanders decide to explore trade options. And why is that? Well, it all ties into the depth the team has assembled at the running back position. The Commanders are surprisingly deep, with Austin Ekeler, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez Jr., all of whom bring NFL experience and versatility to the table. Ekeler in particular is a proven playmaker, capable of both running and catching passes, which adds a layer of flexibility that's invaluable in today's NFL. Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr., meanwhile, have shown flashes during training camp and preseason games, and rookie Bill Krosky-Merritt has been a revelation, especially after that impressive 27-yard touchdown run against the Bengals. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The coaching staff, led by head coach Ron Rivera and offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, have been openly praising the depth and talent in the backfield. Kingsbury recently mentioned how all 6 or 7 guys in the group have a place in this league, highlighting their dynamic traits and the high level of play they've demonstrated during camp. It's clear that the competition is fierce, and the coaches are enjoying the depth they've built. But that also means tough decisions are on the horizon, especially for players like Robinson, who might find themselves on the outside looking in if the team decides to cut or trade him. And that brings us to the big question: what happens to Brian Robinson Jr.? As of now, the team has been in conversations with him about his status. According to NFL.com, the discussions have been ongoing, and while nothing is set in stone, the possibility of him being outright released is very real if they can't find a trade partner. It's a stark contrast to what everyone initially expected from Robinson, especially considering his story, overcoming a gunshot wound from an attempted robbery in Washington, D.C., last August, followed by surgery on his knee. To come back from that and rush for nearly 800 yards in just 12 games last season was a testament to his resilience and talent. But now, with the team's depth and the emerging talent like Krosky-Merritt, the landscape is shifting. Let's take a moment to appreciate Krosky-Merritt's rise. This 7th-round rookie has been turning heads all summer, and his performance against the Bengals really put him on the radar. A 27-yard touchdown run, decisiveness, and a combination of speed and vision have made him a player to watch. The coaching staff, especially Ron Rivera and his staff, seem genuinely impressed, with Rivera himself highlighting how Krosky-Merritt's decisiveness and big plays caught their attention early. There's even talk that he could be a dark horse to emerge as the Week 1 starter, which would be a remarkable story for a 7th-round pick. And it's not just the talent that's catching eyes. The coaching staff's trust in Krosky-Merritt's ability to adapt and perform under pressure signals that he might have a bigger role than initially expected. Rivera and Kingsbury have both praised his versatility, and they see him as a player with high potential. The fact that the team has a veteran like Anthony Lynn, the running backs coach who can guide and mentor the younger guys, adds another layer of confidence that Krosky Merritt could be a future star in the making. But let's not forget the other side of this story. The veteran players, especially those like Robinson, have faced adversity before, and their future with the team isn't just about talent, but also about fit and decision-making. If Robinson gets cut, it would be a tough pill to swallow. Remember, he was drafted in the third round of the 2022 NFL Draft, and his journey has been anything but easy. The shooting incident last summer was a major setback, but he fought back, showed resilience, and proved his doubters wrong by rushing for nearly 800 yards last year. Still, the dynamics of the roster are evolving, and sometimes, in the NFL, tough decisions have to be made for the future stability of the team. Now, shifting gears a little, let's talk about the wide receiver room. It's been a different story this summer, with some surprises emerging. One of those surprises is Gallup, who, despite his experience and previous success in Dallas, might not make the final roster. The team's depth at receiver is quite competitive, and Gallup's standing seems to be on the third team, which puts his spot in jeopardy. Gallup himself has been trying to adapt to the team's offensive style, which is more about quick signals and less huddling, something that's quite different from what he's used to. Gallup mentioned how he's been working hard to adjust, and he's motivated to turn things around in the final preseason games. He's also expressed a strong desire to earn his spot, seeing the opportunity to make the team as a fresh start. His relationship with head coach Ron Rivera, who previously coached him in Dallas, is also a motivating factor. Gallup shared how Rivera approached him, asking if he was done or still had some football left in him. And Gallup made it clear he wants to prove that he still belongs at this level. The coaching staff, especially Rivera and offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, have been, in a way, giving him a second chance, encouraging him to stay consistent and keep working hard. It's a story of perseverance and opportunity, and it's a reminder that in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed until the final roster cuts are made. Gallup's journey is a testament to that. He's been through ups and downs, but his dedication and the chance to reunite with Rivera might give him that extra edge to make the team and contribute in meaningful ways during the season. Now, returning to the bigger picture, what does all of this mean for the Commanders heading into Week 1? The team's roster decisions are shaping up to be some of the most intriguing in recent memory, especially at the running back and receiver positions. The depth they've built is impressive, but it also means tough choices. The potential departure of Robinson, if it happens, could free up some cap space and give other players like Krosky Merritt a real shot to shine. It also signals a shift in how the team is thinking about their core, focusing on versatility, youth, and dynamic playmaking. This kind of roster flexibility and strategic thinking is exactly what the Commanders need to elevate their game in the NFC East, which is already loaded with talent and fierce competition. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all have their strengths, so Washington has to be sharp, quick, and ready to adapt. The coaching staff, led by Rivera and Kingsbury, clearly has a plan, and they're not afraid to make bold moves to ensure the team's success. And let's not forget the fans. This is what makes the NFL special. The drama, the surprises, the roster battles, these are what keep us on the edge of our seats. The upcoming weeks will be crucial, and the decisions made now will echo throughout the season. Whether Robinson stays or goes, whether Krosky Merritt emerges as a starter or not, the story of this roster is still being written, and we the fans are right there, living every moment with you. So in summary, the Washington Commanders are at a pivotal point. The roster cuts are imminent, and they carry with them the potential to reshape the team's future. The story of Brian Robinson Jr. and Bill Krosky Merritt is just one example of how unpredictable and exciting this season could be. The team's depth, talent, and strategic moves put them in a strong position, but every choice will matter. The NFC East is tough, and every team is fighting tooth and nail for supremacy, but the Commanders are making bold moves to ensure they're not just part of the conversation, they're leading it. Stick around because there's so much more to come, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next for Washington. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this roster situation? Are you surprised that Brian Robinson Jr. might be on the way out? Do you see Krosky Merritt as a future star? Or are you still holding out hope that Robinson makes the roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. We're all in this together, and your insights help shape the conversation. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This season promises to be exciting, and we're here to bring you every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders!